Apparently you guys get confused about cartilage piercings, so let's talk about it. To be fair, it is kind of confusing. People are throwing around terms like gauges, bull back, flat back, labre. Who's to know what any of that means? Which is why I'm starting a little 3-day series of Cartilage Earrings 101. Because before I started working in this industry, I was super confused too, but now I want to share my knowledge with you. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about how do you choose your jewelry so you know it's going to fit into your piercings. So starting off with the basics, what is a gauge? A gauge is essentially the thickness of the post of an earring. The most common gauges are 18 or 16, which is 1mm or 1.2mm, which makes it pretty easy to buy because most of them on the market will be one of these two. However, you're going to want to make sure that it's a similar gauge or the same gauge as what you've been wearing previously. Because if you choose a gauge that's too small, it's going to shrink your piercing, and if you choose one that's too big, it's going to be really hard and painful to put in. The second thing to talk about is the post length. This is kind of an obvious one, and there isn't a really hard and fast rule. It's going to completely depend on what piercing we're talking about. So let's go through all the different piercings and which length you should be looking for each one. The first one is a helix or a flat. This is where most people wear flat back earrings, so it's the most common one you're probably going to be buying for. Now, when you get pierced, you're going to be pierced with a 10mm post, and this is to account for all the swelling that's going to happen in the back. But as it starts to heal, you're going to want to go down in size. And again, this is going to depend on your ear, but the two most common ones are 6mm or 8mm. For a conch earring, you might want to wear a hoop, but if you're wearing a stud, it's going to be 10mm because it's very thick cartilage to go all the way through the back. For your lobes, not that many people wear flat backs in their lobes, but not gonna lie, I feel like it's such a hack because it means you can sleep in them and it's super comfortable. But that's a side note. If you were gonna buy for them, I'd recommend starting with a 10mm. It's not going to be uncomfortable, and it's definitely going to fit. For a tragus piercing, you're going to want to go for something a bit smaller. People often go for a 6mm if they want a snug fit, or a 7 or 8mm if they want a looser fit. Daith is always going to be a hoop, so we're just going to skip that one out for now. And for a rook, again, you can go for either a 6mm for a snug fit or 8mm for a loose fit. So there we have it. Now you know everything you need to know about earring posts and gauges. It's really not as confusing as it seems from the outside. You're just going to want to save this post for next time you're shopping for earrings. And come back for part 2 where we're going to talk about all things materials, titanium, stainless steel, which one do you pick? And also let me know if you think we should be dropping some more cartilage earrings. If so, we will do it.